Frank passed away this past weekend, and he's the father of Kenyon, the vice mayor, who's not here, of course, and the mayor's sick, so Franklin's a long-time member of the Harriman and county school boards, about 30-some years, if I calculated right. I think it's 28 over here and 8 over there, or something like that. So, he and his family are pretty big in education. His wife is a teacher, and so on and so forth. It's a big family, and everybody, I guess, knows them. He's been here any time, and so we'll have a moment of silence in his honor. Thank you. And now if you join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we ask your blessings upon the Meade family as they go through this period of mourning, and may they find comfort in their time of grief. Father, we ask that you bless this meeting tonight and all those who are in attendance. Amen. We have our pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And so there'll be no question, could I have a motion to allow me to conduct this meeting?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Councilman, anything further?
Yes.
Any other comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now, you can call the roll.
Darryl Cook,
Yes.
Buddy Holly,
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Kenyon Me, Sam Russell.
Here.
Ronnie Wright.
Yes, here. Okay, next thing is approval of minutes for December 4th, 2018. I have a motion approved.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman, any other
No, sir.
comments, any questions, corrections? If not, call roll, Ms. Secretary.
Darryl Cook.
Yes.
Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Ronnie Wright.
Yes. And I have a motion to pay the bill.
I'll make a motion.
Councilman Johnson?
No, sir.
Johnson? Anybody else? If not, call the roll.
Darryl Cook,
Yes.
Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Ronnie Wright.
Yes. At this time, we'll hear delegations and any citizens who have comments or concerns to it. Anybody? Okay. We'll go to reports, and first up is Ms. Candace.
Well, first of all, I want to just give our appreciation for the Harriman Police Department as well as the Rome County Sheriff Department for the response to our recent threat we received, and thankfully it's not to be a total hoax, but just appreciate the professionalism of the department in responding to that. And I'm going to invite you all to the Christmas breakfast at our warehouse Friday morning, 7 to 9 a.m. We're also on Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. having a Pictures with Santa Day. We're inviting the public to bring their children to the Harriman Utility Board in our board room, which is located on the back side of our main office at 300 North Run Street. We'll have the door open back there, and children can get a picture with Santa and some cookies and juice and small gift while supplies last. We will be closed. Our main office will be closed on Monday and Tuesday next week for observance of Christmas. And as far as projects are concerned, our remodeling project at our new office building is ongoing. We hope to be moved in by the end of March. Everything's going really well right there. We're wrapping up our 2017 CDBG water system improvements project. You may have seen us in front of Jerry Duncan Chevrolet recently doing some work. And also one of the let you know that we were able to get Birch Street paved as part of that project. The last project I wanted to update you on tonight is the T-Dot Bridge widening in front of Crystal's. We will be having to relocate a gas and a sewer main related to that project.
Any questions? All right, thank you, Candace. Let's see, fire? Anyone?
Yeah. Everybody should have received an email with our report, but the only thing I'd like to add is we want to do our Santa route again this year. If anybody's not familiar with it, we got a whole lot of toys donated by residents, citizens, churches, and what we did last year is we got a couple of guys dressed up as Santa Claus, and we went around the fire trucks and went about everywhere in the city of Harriman and just give out toys to the kids. It went really well last year. And so we're going to try to get on December 22nd, so if anyone wants to come out and help, we're more than welcome to.
Okay, good deal. Please.
Yes, sir. I believe y'all actually received our packet last week instead of tonight. But, and I'll answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you. Parks and Rec, Barrel City. Public Works, Barrels. Wait a minute. Parks and Rec, are they represented? Okay. Public Works is Drac, he's sick tonight. Library? Not here. Code enforcement.
Yeah, as well as the police side, my report sent to you last week as well. Any questions? I'd answer.
Any questions?
I've got one right quick. And in your report, there's a section there that says referred to Glenn Cofer. Since Glenn is here, how does that work once it is sent over to Glenn? Is that taking action through on your side, Glenn? Or does that come back to the city to do action?
With the unsafe structures, we take action on it, send out the notice of violations and stuff, and once it gets to a point where we have to take legal action, then we get with Allison and go forward with it.
Okay, good deal. I was just curious, and I saw both of you here tonight. Thank you.
Anything going? Dr. Curley?
Busy collecting taxes, we're about 28% collected. So we got a ways to go, so.
Okay.
But usually January and February are pretty heavy.
Anything else? City Attorney?
In the delinquent tax suit with Gerald Largent, I have a pending motion to dismiss, and there's a hearing set January 3rd for that.
Anything else? Council remarks.
I just, real quick, like to say how much we appreciate the police and the fire department, especially the fire was at Carter and Swanee Street a couple of weeks ago. Our two officers that went in and removed the gentleman out of the building. What a good job. I was down there, and police and fire really did a superb job that night. Thank you, guys.
Council John?
No, sir.
Council Russell?
I didn't get a chance last meeting to thank everybody for their help at Mary's Tree. I'd like to thank HUB and the fire department. The street department's not here, but most importantly, the mayor was the hardest working person I've seen out there, and I'd specifically like to thank him. That's all I have.
You know, I'm glad you said that. I was thinking coming over here how everything's been going in this town and how different groups are cooperating. And, we're almost good as the federal government. I think probably could take some lessons. I wonder, Dr. Curley, if we didn't never approve a budget, if we could get by with that. I doubt we could, but anyway. Yeah, there's some good things going on. We really appreciate all of our partners. All right, new business. The first item we're going to hold to the next meeting. Item B is discuss and possibly approve one for development of updated police policies. Chief?
Yes, sir. When I came in as chief, it was, do y'all mind if I set my notebook up there for a second? I understood that you all had voted maybe to do the policies through Lexapol, and maybe they costed $8,000 the first year, $10,000 year after that. Well, and guys, that's y'all's decision to make. What I would like to show you all and I've brought everyone a copy of a letter. Being the chief of police, myself and Lieutenant Ormby are members of the Tennessee Association's chief of police. And we attended the Chiefs Conference at the 1st of December, where we met and got to sit in classes with Eric Daigle, who is the TCAP. He's the law group that does policies for police departments in the state of Tennessee. I didn't make a lot of copies of this. I'll let you go through it. This is a sample policy that comes from the Tennessee Associations of Police. That's what it looks like when I get them on computer. This is that same policy, and it just happens to be a policy on emergency operation and pursuits. And this is what it looks like when you turn it into a Harriman policy. It has all the highlighted areas in it that you take and make into what fits your company. What I did, and like I said, you all voted to go with Lexipol, and that's fine. But what I wanted to show you as members of the Tennessee Association Chief of Police, Mr. Daigle and retired chiefs throughout the state do policies for police departments in the state of Tennessee and put them on Power DMS for free. And you adopt them and turn them into your own. Like I took that one and turned it into that one. What I did the month, after Thanksgiving, is I sat down along with another officer at the PD and we did a policy manual. Okay, Mr. Daigle, the class that we went to December the 5th and 6th, for instance, one of the classes we went to, he talked about updating the First Amendment and social media policy and how things have changed through social media and stuff and how to update your policy for that. We get emails about updated policies through the Tennessee Association's Chief of Police, and they also, every 3 months, they have a meeting in Nashville. The next one's February the 6th through 8th, then April, then July, then back to October and December. All I wanted to do to show you all, if I need to get with Lexipol in the next little bit to establish policies, that's fine. I just wanted to show you that we can get them for free. We don't have to pay a yearly amount for them. You know, they tell us when they update one, we update one. We've got the book at the office now with the 10 sections of policies that we've done. But that's entirely up to you all. I'm not trying to step on any toes. I just wanted you to know, through the Tennessee Association Chief of Police, you know, we can update our policies for free. You know, I don't know why somebody wasn't using this before, but it's you know, like I said, if we go with Lexipol, then I need to sit down and give them our structure and stuff soon to get them in place. I did a little research on Lexipol. They're not a bad company. You know, they make money off doing your policies, and their policies are copyrighted. I found that out, that they're copyrighted. I'll give you, for instance, I called a buddy of mine at Knox City and said, hey, what's your body camera policy look like? He goes, hold on, give me your email address, I'll shoot it to you. Feel free to change it and use it if you want to. Daryl, you might can help me with this, I don't know. Lexipol, since theirs are copyrighted, I don't know if they share them with anybody. I don't know if legally, if they could, you know, turn around and say, you know, can you show me a Lexipol policy without infringing their copyright?
Oh, yeah, I've got access to it as a sheriff's department employee. I've got
Right,
access
right,
to it
I understand,
immediately.
but can you share them with another police department?
I know that, I can't answer.
Because they're copyrighted, and I don't think you can. But like I said, I'm not, he knows more about Lexipol than I do. I can sit down and meet with them and get that ball rolling. Or, like I said, we've already got these policies at the police department. You know, if we want to go forward with this, we were going to put them on our Google Drive, download them into everybody's phones to have them and make them sign off that they reviewed them. That's entirely up to you all. We have, you know, like I said, you all voted to do Lexipol, and that's fine. I was just wanting to say, I might could save you $10,000, $8,000, $10,000 a year if we adopt these and go with updating them. They send us, we know when they update one, they send it to us. You know.
Councilman, is there any major difference in the content of?
Well, if we could see the differences between, like what Lexipol, because like with Lexipol, and I'm just gonna throw this out there because where you're looking at doing a paper file now or uploading it to a document, theirs, if you make an adjustment, it's available immediately.
And
Can you give us?
you might can look at yours, because you can look at them. And here's section 9 on training. For instance, the policies, you could look and compare them to yours
I mean,
to
do we
see
have
what it
anything that we
is.
could look at the difference, have you talked to Lexipol to see what the differences
No, I
actually
have
are?
not, no.
And to see what the difference, I mean, that may be something that we need to look at is so that we can compare apples to oranges. We may pay for it, but I know there's a lot of electronic differences and just to see, and that's up to what you all, let me ask you this, if you go
Yes.
in and you do the manual policies, what's the timeline that you're looking?
I've already did them.
So
I did
they're
them in a
already,
week.
they're ready for approval?
Yeah, they're sitting at the PD. That's section 5, section 1 through 10 is sitting there. We did them, it only took me a week to turn them into Harriman policies. We did them, and now to update them, you know, it would take less time to update one because if they send you an update, then you go in, update it, print it off, and replace it. But like I said now, Lexipol may be better, I don't know. I just thought I would present this as to say, you know, we can update our policies and keep them updated through the Tennessee Association Chief of Police, myself, Lieutenant Ormby, Detective Minot. It costs $150 a year for us to be a member. You know. And that's something, like I said, I'm ready to go forward with Lexipol if that's what y'all want. But I just wanted to show you there is a way to get policies through the Tennessee Association Chief of Police that they give to police departments for free as being members of that.
We've already approved
Yeah,
contract.
Yeah.
we approved it, but we've not went in yet.
We just appropriated the money, is all we, yeah.
Okay, well, we better check all this out before we.
Because
Well,
the first year is $8,000 for it, and then every year after that's 10, right?
Yeah, I
Yes,
remember that.
yes.
I didn't know if we locked in on that.
No,
we've not done
we
anything
ain't done
yet.
anything with it yet. We just approved the money for it.
But Councilman Cook, that, like the section 5 there, if you take it with you, you can compare them to yours and see what the difference is or something, you know?
Sure.
And look at it and see if, you know,
Yeah, we can
not
say
not
that.
trying to do anything, just saying, you know, we can get them for free if we want to move that way. If not, then in the next week or so, I need to sit down with Lexipol and go over things to fit our police department. Maybe even if I give them the set of policies I made and say, this stuff fits us, you know, here you go. But
Yeah, we'll look at it, Chief. We probably have to have more help out of you with info.
okay.
Could you, and just so that we know what the difference is, could you talk to Lexipol and see what they offer that would
Yeah,
be different
yeah.
than this procedure? I know the policy as far as the written part, but is there anything that would be a benefit more to the city? Is there, just to see, so we're comparing apples to oranges and.
Right, right. Well, or come by and we'll call them and talk to them about it. I know you got some off time.
Yeah.
You got some off time.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay.
Item C is discuss and possibly approve agreement regarding litigation involving the coal ash spill.
You wanna talk about it?
Can you enlighten us any?
I can. And I guess I would say we haven't received, not that I've seen like a legal services agreement from the attorney. I think this is more to prove whether we want to join the lawsuit. The county commission and the city of Kingston have already joined. They're going to file a suit at the end of this week against TVA and the contractor related to the coal ash spill. The interest for the city of Harriman would be the lost revenue and the diminished property values is what the attorney is looking at for our damages, so to speak. And we're kind of under a time constraint because the statute is going to run, I think he said December 22nd. So they'll be filing on Friday. So we have to make a decision if the city of Harriman wants to join the lawsuit, and we can pay the retainer fee that was discussed, or we just won't be in the lawsuit and we'll miss our opportunity. So we can't join it later if we change our mind. He quoted about $2 a person, and so Dr. Curley figured that's about 6,000 citizens. So we're looking at $12,000 retainer up front for legal costs in addition to what Kingston and the commission have paid as well.
And what does this get us? $12,000. This gets us in agreement.
To be a party in the lawsuit. Because, if we're not a party, then we're not going to receive anything. And you know, $12,000 certainly seems like a lot for the city of Harriman, but the potential restitution that could be gained is certainly a lot more than that. And the attorney was supposed to be here tonight, but his child, I think, was also sick. So I don't know the specific complaints or allegations that they're putting in there, but he's looking at particular citizens with ongoing medical costs, the city property values, especially around the lake there and Swan Pond area, have greatly decreased. We've lost revenue from just people driving through because they don't want to stop where the coal ash spill was. So he kept calling it that stigma that we have, you know, that we're all contaminated. So that's part of going into his complaint that's going to be filed this week. And because it was in the city limits of Harriman and affects us and our citizens, the attorney thought we had a good standing to be a party as well.
Dr. Kerr, you got any feelings?
Well, during the discussion, it was mentioned that there could be some analysis and maintenance costs associated with the lawsuit that we'd have to participate in paying, in addition to the $12,000 that we would be paying to be a party. I think you probably have 30 days to withdraw from it and just pay his fee for what work he's done for us. If you decide to do that. Since the other city and the county are getting involved in that, the issue that's probably most likely to benefit Harriman has to do with property tax value drops and whether or not that can be connected to the ash spill. Of course, there are other health issues that may have influenced some of the people in the city that we don't know about at the moment. But as far as being a cost factor, I think it's probably not an unreasonable amount to be a party to the Asheville if you're wanting to be a party. This is one avenue to try to help the people of the city of Harriman if there are recognizable and provable effects from the ash spill that have not been compensated.
So the minimum amount would be 12,000 if we decided
Yes.
that later on.
Yeah.
If it's approved, I believe it'd have to be paid this week, or at least we'd get the legal services agreement to sign and work out when payment would be sent to that attorney, but they have to file the end of this week to preserve their claim, so we don't have very long to sit on this and think about it too much.
All right, do I have a motion
Motion.
to?
I'll second.
To join in this agreement regarding this litigation over those fields. Councilman Russell,
I have nothing.
Councilman Cook,
No.
anybody else?
Seems like a little bit of a crapshoot, but, then again, it could be significant to the city, so it's kind of a toss-up, but I'm like Charles, and $12,000 is not a reasonable amount to come to party with that. So it may be worth the risk.
Generally, we would have more time to consider a decision like this, but where it was waited so long, so close to the deadline to get an attorney involved, we don't have as much time to discuss all the details on the front end to know everything that's going to be put in there. But we
You
just
said we have 30 days to withdraw.
That's what Dr. Curley said. I mean, if we decide we're going to join the lawsuit, we would be named as a plaintiff on it, the filing this week. We could always withdraw later as a party if we didn't want to. We could non-suit our claims and exit, and then Houston and the county would remain.
There is some downside, right, from adverse public.
Well, we would be out legal fees and expenses and a prorated share with the other two parties.
I'm talking about the impact on the future. I mean, you could be a possibility of some negative impact, but anyway, anybody else? If not, call the roll.
Darryl Cook,
Yes.
Betty Holly,
Yes.
Tenn Johnson.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes. Okay. Discuss and possibly approve on the first reading ordinance 1218-01 adopting 2018 International Residential Code. And that's the code.
Yes, sir. State statute requires that the city be within 7 years of the most current code that's available. Currently, the city's on the 2012 IRC and IPC codes. You calculate that out, January 1st, we're 7 years out. So I've reviewed both sets of the codes. These ordinances are written in a way that it takes care of some of the major issues with the energy code that was in the residential part. Takes that out, exempts us out of that. State has approved us doing that. I recommend that you guys approve this. Also, the contract you have with the county requires that the city be on the same codes that the county is on, and this is what we adopted with the county. Thank you.
One question, do they still have that requirement concerning fire protection systems in homes?
No, that's exempted out of this. It's actually exempted out in the next ordinance, the IBC code. That's where they tried to sneak that one in.
Yeah,
And we need
aware of
to,
that.
we need to read this.
You just read
the ordinance to amend the International Building Code and related codes for the city of Harriman, whereas the city of Harriman has heretofore adopted the International Building Code 2012 edition as and for the building code for the city of Harriman, and whereas the International Building Code 2018 edition is a new standard edition which is recommended for adoption, and whereas the 2018 International Building Codes, IBC, and other codes as described herein provide for regulating and governing the construction, alteration, movement, enlargement, replacement, repair, equipment, local removal and demolition of all property, building, construction, structures to be standard for supply of utilities, facilities, and other physical things, and conditions essential to ensure that structures are safe, sanitary, and fit for occupancy and use. Condemnation of buildings and structures unfit for human occupancy and use. The demolition of such structures, as well as providing for the issuing of permits and collection of fees. Therefore, and now, therefore, being enacted by the City Council of the City of Harriman, Tennessee, that all existing international building codes and related codes for the City of Harriman be deleted in their entirety and replaced by the following. And that's the next one.
You have your ordinance, the second ordinance. We need to approve this
Yeah,
one.
that's right, okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Councilman Johnson?
No, sir.
Councilman,
No.
anybody else? Call the roll.
Darryl Cook,
Yes.
Buddy Holly,
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes. Now we go to the next one. And that's 1218-02. This is an ordinance to amend the International Residential Code for the City of Harriman. Whereas the State of Tennessee Department of Commerce and the Insurance Division of Fire Protection allows jurisdiction to be up to 7 years behind the most current edition of available building and fire codes. Whereas the City of Harriman has currently adopted the 2012 IRC, and whereas the City of Harriman desires to adopt the 2018 IRC with amendments because it is in the best interest of the city, and now therefore be it enacted by the City Council of the City of Harriman, Tennessee, that all existing international residential codes be deleted in their entirety and replaced by the following. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Not anything.
Who's second? Call the roll.
Darryl Cook,
Yes.
Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes. Item F, we're gonna wait for the next meeting, and talking about the next meeting, it's on January 1st, and I would propose that we approve January the 8th. That next meeting.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Darryl Cook.
Yes.
Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes. Anything else come for the council?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.